Welcome once again. This is Newsfile. It's your most authoritative news analysis platform. And here on Newsfile, we put Ghana first. I'm your host, Samson Ladi Anyenini. I have a brief take for you this morning. And on Samson's take, I speak about unprofessional and unethical conduct in the name of journalism. We see these days insult fest among journalists, people trading insults on national television, and they have viewers who are excited about that and who promote the fight in insults as a form of journalism, showing how one is superior or better than the other. That is crass, and we have to cut it. You must be unintelligent to think that that is journalism. There are actually people involved in pure insults at every news item they pick up, and they get hailed for doing journalism. If you take an issue, what you are required to do is to look at the issue on the basis of your research. And having spoken to perhaps if it involves individuals and gotten their views, you represent them. If you have opinion journalism is no crime. So state them, but they must be informed, researched. Insulting people, insulting every elder you know in town in the name of journalism looks really terrible on yourself. Now, I don't want to get any close to that kind of thing that those people are happy to call journalism. They should be forbidden, prohibited from getting close to any guilt by the name journalists. There's this story that's been running, and it's been shared with me by a number of people. I've actually received calls from some people, and it's titled, Go to Court, Go to Court, Newsfile Hypocrisy. Well, I know that what I do gets me in the public eye, and that there will be stories that I'll never get to see or read. There are many that I will have to ignore. That, for me, is a fact of the place that I find myself. But when a tabloid continues and decides to make it an agenda to continue to pick you completely out of context and sometimes totally misrepresent what you say, I must make this comment. Prince Derek Ajay, who was once a public officer and who has been fighting to represent one of the political parties at the Ablekuma West constituency, is the author of the latest article. The things that are reported there are completely false. They are just his own imaginations. That I spoke about land grabbing on Newsfile last week is completely, totally false. They can only be imagined. That I took any judges on is completely false. But I need to tell you this. Prince Derek Ajay mentions my name in almost every appearance he has the opportunity, and there's a reason to it. Some years ago, he sought to get me to assist him to do a case on my show, so to speak, about his problems with a sitting Supreme Court judge, the Chief Justice, and that he had filed a petition for the removal of the Chief Justice and wanted my platform to speak about it. He got some other platform to speak about it, but that was not sufficient for him. I understand what Newsfile represents. I found he peddled completely bogus claims, and I won't be party to it. He kept sending me messages almost every Saturday asking me to speak about it so that it will get the mileage he wanted. I declined because I will not be party to propaganda. Now, in the course of that, he got angry and began to insult me. So I blocked him, completely blocked him. I warned him, he didn't take it, so I blocked him. So since then, he's made it his job that every opportunity he has on any media appearance, he will mention my name somewhat and suggest that I am involved in a certain media cabal that is protecting people who are doing wrong. If you know me, you know that that is a lie from the pit of hell. So Prince Derek J, you've got to stop that. This same tabloid picked a write-up by Eduji Tamaklo and put my name on it and published it as me taking the Electoral Commission boss, Jean Mensah, on. I got called from the EC, offices, and I told the officials. I knew completely, absolutely nothing about it. Somehow, some of them wouldn't believe it. I issued a disclaimer on social media, and I let it end there. Please don't continue this way. This is not journalism, and it is completely wrong. If you want me for your news, come to me. I may give you an interview. And on that note, I wish to ask all of you who are sharing the videos of my very good friend, whom I was in church with on University of Ghana campus at the LPU. I'm talking about Bernard Avle. We emceed certain programs together on campus. I was president at Kwafu Hall, he was president, Legon Hall, and we did a few things together. His brother was a member of my choir. I was in the Chosen Vessels choir. And he's going through a very difficult period, and we're all trying to help him to heal. At the funeral, it was announced and completely prohibited that pictures should not be taken. I had to literally actually approach some people and ask them to stop and respect the prohibition as announced by Richard Sky, who was moderating the process. Somehow, some people took pictures and are spreading on social media. And even mainline media are beginning to use some of those pictures. Please, in the name of God, the family doesn't want this. The pain that he's going through and his family are going through, you can only imagine. So please, I beg of you, if you are showing any of these pictures on social media or mainline media, take them down. If you have put them as your profile or whatever, please, he appreciates your sympathy, but take them down. The family doesn't want it. That is journalism or media attitude that is professional. Queen Elizabeth's death could have been known ahead of when we got to know it. The media kept professional. That's why it was delayed. When people send packages to us, sometimes they put embargoed until a certain date, and we don't show it, we don't publish it until they have lifted the embargo. This is not some corruption story or something that you say somebody is trying to stifle you. Please respect the family, their wish, They sat down, planned it, thought through it, and came to the funeral and said, no media should take any photographs. If you even did, you are not supposed to publicize it. If you find them on social media this morning, I beg you, take them down. I'm Samson Ladia-Yenini, and this is my take. I welcome my guests shortly so that we go to find out how to stop galamsey and how to avoid judgment debts. We'll be right back.